Hey everyone, Kane here, and in this one, we're gonna talk about the physical and the magical sort of selection that you have to do in terms of playing the game and building formations. Now, this likely quite a lot of people are doing mistakes on and highly investing into both of them, and some of those selections might actually underpower their fields. So, before I start talking about them, I have to let you know what kind of a race I play in terms of whenever people would be checking the video. So, I am playing Lich, and majority of my DPS and build and stuff like that is built around mages and necromancers. So with that, we're gonna be more elaborating in terms of the magical type stuff and just checking out the physical ones as well. So, first things first, the two main features with high values are the Reliquary and the Armory. We also have Hero Mastery with a little bit more, but we're gonna check on that in just a bit as well. So we go on to the Relic Steel, or whichever way you spell it, and we have the page 5, and we have a selection, either magic damage dealt 42%, or physical damage dealt 42%. So one of these benefits, say, Valerie, Avril, Tisafin, Ophidia, etc., etc., etc. And then we have another who benefits Sizo, Basric, any other Mechanist, Rogue, and stuff like that. So, since we play Lich and majority of our DPS are mages and necromancers, we have to select this and just overpower our mages to do quite a lot of damage. And damage they do quite a bit. And that is what I mean. If you are going to select this, so your mages and necromancers will be more powerful than that of your rogues and mechs and gladiators even. And if you select this, the other few will be more powerful than those mages. Now, I cannot really speak for the endgame stuff like 20 million core or whatever. I can only speak for the place or the meta I am in, which is I do believe I will finish just a little bit below 4,500, or I might even manage to reach 4,500 dual tower at the end. So currently my account is somewhere at that state, even fighting higher cores than myself, and plenty of them VIP 15s. So you might want to filter some of that information for your own accounts. And then of course, we have Armory, a pretty new feature with a lot of buffs as well. So we have the Shadow Leopard Blade, and it has quite a few decent buffs. So the ability, at the start of the battle, 3 friendly mages and necromancers obtain the ability, which repeatedly marks the target unit with the passive, which stacks 10 times for every basic attack. And this, rather, the passive increases the damage dealt by the hero or by a hero by 5.5%, and it stacks 10 times. So 55%, I suppose, more damage dealt by those mages and necromancers. Last 20 seconds, and then you have a selection between 20% chance to do 75% more damage to melee units or 50% more attack speed. So personally, I tried attack speed. For me, for some reason, it's a lot more valuable even during Valerie's ultimate. But when I do manage to get 6-star next month and activate it on all of them all the time, I will kind of try to do this one and see how much this will affect the Valerie burst early on and stuff like that. I'm not entirely sure how much it would, but we're just gonna check it out. And then of course it lasts 20 seconds. So 55% more damage by those heroes with this ability, and of course 50% more attack speed, or let's say 20% chance to do 75% more damage. And as well, we have the Shadow Leopard helmet or armor. I don't even know how the hell they come up with a helmet when you clearly have an armor here. At the start of the battle, a shadow hurricane covering a whole lane, well, it's like a small width proccing on any of your necromancers or mages, so it can even proc on your frigging Gazul and Raxius for all I know. Is summoned and increasing the magical damage of all friendly mages within range by 35%. So again, more magic damage as well as magical damage taken by enemy melee units within range by 35. Now this ending part is in terms of the chakra, as you can see. The other one is enemy mages deal less damage, which I will want to kind of test, but without the 5-star, the higher width, it's kind of hard to actually touch the enemy mages because you have to be in a range of like 2 to 3 squares or something like that. And that is a very, very, very small range in terms of this ability, but it will increase to a decent amount whenever you upgrade this to 5-star. So this again can actually help out the mages a lot as well as your tankiness. And the only other things I do believe that we have for physical right now is the battle axe, which makes gladiators do a bit more damage in terms of HP percent, or we have those, or rather a lance that will buff the rogues. So without getting too much further into this in terms of these, we can reduce the active skill usage to 3 and then max stacks 5 with scaling of 25. So 5 times 25 is 125 physical damage for your rogues in likely about, let's say if you cast Raxius first, then a couple of times Valerie, then like Rufio's, you're gonna stack those rogues to do more damage in a matter of like 15 to 20 seconds, almost to maximum, I think. Not probably maximum, but almost to maximum. So there is some sort of a scalability for rogues, but I'm not really sure if the rogues do that much damage. You have Sizer, which is single target. Bazrik, for majority of the match, is just a very, very slight area damage. And of course, Bat Blitz will do a bit more. Then, of course, you have, I do believe, the new hero Palace, but it doesn't really do that much good damage as far as I know. Majority of the time is just fake, and it's out healed very easily. So in terms of like the meta swapping and the elemental damages, the game is kind of turning towards elemental selections, and because of those elemental selections, the decisions towards your field have to change. Quite a lot of people do fail to understand that, and quite a lot of people do invest heavily into all of those heroes, and sometimes it doesn't end up well. Doesn't always do that yet, but I do think in the future they will even release more features with stuff like that, which will more and more clearly make a selection between the mages, or rather magical type, and the physical type. Now there are, of course, a few nuances, few races which reduce more resistances, either physical or magical. There are prisms that reduce both of them. There are equipments that increases damage done to either specific types or just in general, I think, or stuff like that, or removing, or pretty much there are plenty of builds, even in terms of dragons, right, that you can remove more resistances or just add damage taken or stuff like that. So there are a lot of decisions that people can do and should do in regards to their fields, and then manage that stuff properly. So as you can see, I just fight people about 2 million core above me, 2.5 million core above me, and if they don't have proper fields, essentially they can end up either stalling with me in terms of a draw, or winning or losing. And I do believe even one of those fights I just had like friggin' one hero, they had one hero alive, Now, I'm not really sure which one of the fights is it, but man, that fight was just friggin' awesome. I think the closest fight I ever had, and the person was actually a pretty decent person. Wasn't flaming, I don't think. He just gave a thumbs up, and I almost won, and then I gave him thumbs up again. So, for example, this match, the guy had only Tisafin alive in invincibility. So, damages, we clearly see Valerie, Ophidia, Avril, Arian, and then of course we have some physical stuff, and then Tisafin, who either did nothing reasonable or died very early. Enemy side, Avril, Valerie, Tisafin. What's his Nora level though? Let's just quickly check. 64. So something similar like myself. So we go over a couple of other matches. This was a stomp, but we still have mages pretty much top 5. So we scroll a bit more up top. This was a bit harder fight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mages, then skeletons and etc. Then we scroll on to, let's say, a loss. I did some damage here. Again, 5 mages, then Sizo. So if you're gonna be investing into one element, even if that, let's say, Sizo was level 70, majority of his damage would likely be just the percent type damage and the equipment that I do have on him. And especially his damage is visible in terms of trees. But he doesn't manage to kill them though. Why am I viewing Balrog right here? So I have this particular build, and I have this 5-star crossbow because I don't have Vigor Shuriken, and likely I'm not gonna have it 5-star anytime soon. So he has some physical penetration in here, so he's gonna do more damage. Has even a prism to do more damage, so that is why you're gonna be seeing him doing quite considerable amounts of damage. And that is why, like, he's appearing. Even if he's 65, he does some damage, and but not enough damage to be as useful as the other heroes, even if he's level 65 or would be 70. So again, pretty much people have to make a choice in terms of these elements. Now, the last feature is the hero mastery. Of course, you have a couple of circles which quite a few people already have taken. After receiving magic damage from any hero, the target receives more magic damage for 5 seconds. So both of these equals to 10% more magic damage for 5 seconds. And you have the same thing for physical as well, which I have not yet leveled because I don't really have any considerable physical damage, and instead I just use the other buffs to buff like accuracy or just some other health, healing received at the moment, and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it for I suppose this topic. And the further this game goes, the further I can kind of imagine that our fields are not going to be expanded, right? But our fields are going to be made into physical and let's say magical element or damage type fields instead of just both together, which quite a lot of people always had. And even, let's say, if we would view some of the high-end core people, even some of that meta in there changes, and apparently some of them don't even use specific mages as well. I'm not sure if a lot of them in particular, but from what I have checked, for example, they don't use mages like Valerie anymore. Like, I don't even see Valerie in here. I do believe they just removed her because she didn't do considerable amounts of damage for them, and likely they're just focusing physical damage in terms of their own meta because it's more suitable and better for them. Because, for example, you have more physical damage dealers than you kind of would have the magical ones. So I don't even know how Yip can even do this damage, We have Solaris, Mira, we have Saizo, even Berog apparently does damage for them. Basric, even like, do you see how much physical DPSs are just starting to appear? And there are a lot more physical damage dealers than essentially there are magical ones. So meta could essentially split into physical and magical even in the next couple of features that are going to come out. But those are just my thoughts, my opinions in terms of the future as well. For the moment, we're still able to use, let's say, both of those, but the differences will be made more and more clear as the features do come in. So, what do you guys think? Will this sort of thing happen? Even now, I kind of do feel it myself, but what do you guys think as well? But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for the video. Do let me know in the comments down below what you guys also think. Thanks for watching, and if you would wish to support me more than just watching my video, I have made a Patreon page where you would be able to do just that, as well as I would be able to help you out individually as well in terms of formations, builds, heroes, and the likes. As well as I would like to thank my Patreons, Scott and Near, really appreciate it for the subscription. Thanks for watching, guys, take care, and stay safe out there.